So being an everyday mermaid, sometimes we do have responsibilities in the human world. We got to go out into the public,
It's true. Sometimes you gotta tame down that persona just the tiniest bit, just to help you get through your day.
For sure. And Madison Ashley does a great job with that because they create jewelry that gives you a super classic mermaid vibe without going crazy over the top with it.
Oh, it's such a good idea because I am not a big jewelry wearer, but I tell you what, like this bracelet that I'm wearing, the wave bracelet that I'm wearing right now, it's the perfect amount of hint of ocean life without screaming my mermaid style.
And I love that. That's what an everyday mermaid is, friends.
It's true.
And you know what? They also donate to ocean conservation. So we love Madison Ashley Jewelry, and we know you will too. And you can check them out at madisonashleyusa.com. And if you want to get a little discount code, check out the link in our description. Mermaids. Hey everyone, it's Abby, your everyday mermaid, and this is
Lauren,
my mergal pal, and you're listening to the Everyday Mermaid podcast. We are sharing the ins and outs.
You mean fins and outs.
Ooh, of being a mermaid.
We bring you the latest news, interviews with celebrities, and of course,
a hashtag Jody moment for our girl Jody Benson, the voice of the Little Mermaid.
Let's dive in to the Everyday Mermaid podcast.
All my mermaids. Hey everybody, it's Abby, your everyday mermaid, and this is
Lauren,
my mergal pal, and you are listening to the Everyday Mermaid podcast.
Welcome.
Hello everyone.
We're going to talk about some really fun stuff today.
Yep, we're going to talk about some underwater posing techniques because Lauren is now very well versed in such things. as am I.
Thanks to my new tail.
Yes. So we'll talk about that, but before we do, we're going to get caught up.
What's going on with you, Abby?
Not much at all. We're just over here staying home. And somebody asked me the other day, she was like, where are you working out now? Because we used to work out at the same gym.
That's true.
That closed because of COVID.
Right.
And I was like, well, I run every day.
You do. You were really working hard on that.
I'm working real hard. But
you like to run, though.
I do. And I have found that the only way, truly, in my mental state, is only this close to being sane. We're not there, but the only reason I am here and happy at the moment is because I can run outside.
Is that why you run so much? You're chasing your sanity?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And yes. Mm-hmm. So, lots of running.
Yes.
Lots of running.
Yes.
So, that's pretty much it for me. What about you?
School's going fine. Things are, I just wear your masks. Please do me a favor. Just do it. Like, that's all, there's not much. There's really cute ones out there.
My gosh.
Shockingly, you'll be really surprised by this. I spent some money at box lunch.
Oh.
I know. Oh, they had a really pretty princess mask.
Of course they did. Have you seen that TikTok where the guy is like, oh my gosh, I am so shocked. How did this happen? Like, that's how I feel right now. Like,
yes, I think you sent me one where it was like me trying to explain the 37 Amazon packages on my front porch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. How
did this
happen?
I do not know.
Checks notes. So funny. Also, you're not allowed to buy anything from box lunch.
Oh.
Right now.
That's fine because all of my sand dollars are going to my film.
Oh, that's
January,
right. That's good because we're looking at, you're still over a month away from Christmas. So you're just going to have to
oh, huzzah.
Huzzah, indeed. So Abby is done.
Yay! That makes me so happy.
You should. It's beautiful.
Oh, man. I can't wait.
You should have seen me though. I was with my sister and I was agonizing because I was like, what if she already has it?
Everybody says that and I never do.
Good. I got it in. No, I'm just not. We're done. No, because I'm going to give it away. I'm a 7. I'm a Leo. We're not good at keeping secrets. I know this.
All right. Well, we'll just have to talk about it later when I open it. Huzzah.
It's going to be so pretty.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait. So in the spirit of getting caught up, your merlings.
Oh yeah.
Your merlings say the darndest things,
So
know. What have they had to say? recently?
I can't remember if I've done this one already, but you know what? It bears repeating. 4-year-old. When I grow up, I'm going to be a policeman. Other 4-year-old. When I grow up, I'm going to be a princess stuck in a tower. I believe my response was lofty goals.
Yeah.
Not
That's a
just a
good
princess.
one.
She wants to very specifically to be a princess stuck in a tower.
Yes.
I feel like Princess Fiona would tell her that's not great.
Yeah, she would be like, girl.
Then I asked, what's your favorite part of swim lessons? And another 4-year-old went, the end.
No. I mean,
I laughed so hard.
yeah.
I was like, I mean, at least they're honest.
Right.
5-year-old. The last month of the year is Jingle Bells.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. And then, career update on the kid who wanted to grow up to be a
Yes.
princess stuck in a tower.
Right.
Miss Lauren, when I grow up, I want to be a teacher, just like you.
Oh my gosh. My mermaid heart can't
I know.
take it.
I showed her, this is the same, shockingly, princess stuck in the tower. So I showed her my picture that you took of me and my
Yes.
my Abbey pose. And
Which we will discuss later.
indeed. And I mean, I think her eyes just about popped right out of her head. She's like, wait, what? This is also the same kid from last week who was like, Elsa is real.
Right. That makes perfect sense to me that that's the same person.
Right. Indeed. So yeah, princesses are her thing.
Yeah.
And apparently she keeps going home and telling her family that we don't believe anything that she says. And I'm like, I have
Oh my
never
gosh,
once
that
said
is-
that. Never, not once have I said these words to you.
Our parents are like, honey, we believe you.
It's okay. It's pat. Blast. So
That
yeah.
is funny. Well, that is so cute that she wants to
It
be a
is.
teacher like Miss Lauren.
You don't go.
Precious. Well, I thought, Lauren, since today, for this episode, I thought we could talk a lot about underwater posing as mermaids because we've done it quite a bit now at this point, and
Yeah.
I get a lot of questions.
I bet you do.
About this, and I am like, when people ask me, how do you open your eyes underwater, I'm like, I just do. I open them, you know?
Well, you also kind of bridge this really strange gap between being an underwater model and being a mermaid.
Yes.
There's not very many people that do both.
Yes. This is true.
Not that there's many people that mermaid either.
Right.
But if you do, typically you're looking at a lot of pictures of the tail on land of some kind and not a whole lot underwater. Or if
It's
they
true.
are underwater, it's a swimming shot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not like a still scene.
That is a good point. We just shot a mermaid who has done plenty of above water shoots and looks gorgeous. But when we went underwater for the first time, she was like, oh, I have to stay here in this pose. This is new.
This is very hard.
Yeah. So that's a good point. There's definitely a huge difference between above water and underwater.
I'll have to put my some side by sides together of my first photo underwater, which is that horrendous shot that you have decided must re-enter the world every year.
It's not horrendous.
I look like Ursula's minions in the ground. How dare you? I mean, it is an adorable shot. It's so funny. I mean, it's just, especially knowing how far along your company has come with photography, that it makes for a great, here's where we started. and
Totally.
Here's
Where we are. Yeah.
But I mean, all of us are trying so hard and we're all smiling or trying to, and it is a very special shot. And it's hysterical, and it deserves to be posted every year. But does my hair raise up on the back of my neck every time? I'm like, oh, this photo needs to die.
That is so funny. Well, and to your credit, it was a group photo. So we, at the time, this is pre-COVID, we were having a mermaid meetup and we did a group underwater photo. It is difficult to get an underwater photo just with one person.
Oh, yeah.
Let alone 15 of them. And so having to go through all of the photos, I literally picked, that was the only one where everyone's eyes were open or people were under the surface. So, I just didn't have a ton to choose from, but
it's a hysterical photo.
It's a pretty good one.
I feel like it's going to make another appearance now that we're talking about
Yeah,
it.
we'll
Great.
definitely be posting it. You're welcome. But yeah, so far have we come from this moment. And
that's true.
If anything, this should give all the mer people hope for improvement if you practice.
I mean, am I a good swimmer? Yes. I have known how to swim.
Yes.
I have known how to swim successfully for a very long time. Did I do swimming in school? No. What do you call that? Was I on the swim team?
There you go.
The words. No, I wasn't. But I'm a good swimmer. I grew up around a lot of water. So I do understand the mechanics of it. Let me tell you something. You put a tail on. That's a whole psychological aspect you kind of have to deal with.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't have very long breath hold. We're working on it. It's getting better.
Well, yeah, I thought you did great this last shoot. It was really good.
But you have to practice it. And so it's like when I first got into Mermaid Tail, I worked myself right into it.
Yeah.
Because, you just want to swim around. It's very exciting. But it's all of that excitable energy that gets you moving. You have to channel it.
Yep.
When you're posing underwater.
Yep.
So
it's a crazy thing. Because a lot of people that are on the swim team and stuff just automatically assume that they're going to be able to do this mermaid thing. When in fact, they're taught to breathe one way. And we're taught to breathe quite the opposite. We're not holding in our breath.
Right.
We're blowing it out.
Yeah. Because if you don't, you float.
That's right. That's right. Mermaids got to swim deep into the depths. So, yeah.
Yeah. So you have to find the space in between, because if you let out all your air, by the time you get to the bottom, you're dying. So you have to scurry back up. So you have to find the space in between where you've sunk just enough to hit your shot and also have enough air to reach back to the surface.
Yeah. And I think a mistake that people make is they get down there and they pose and then they're happy with their shot, but then they kind of freak out. They're like, oh gosh, am I out of air now? And they kind of panic. And so they get up and they're like, and freak out.
Yeah.
And that's typically not the case. You typically have a nice little reserve of air that you haven't even used yet, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, it's very different being a mermaid posing underwater.
Yes.
So the first thing that I thought about that we've encountered with our pod, Nashville Mermaid Pod, is that some of us are sinkers and some of us are floaters. Are you a floater?
I'm a floater.
Yes. And I'm a sinker. It is just the way we're made.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I feel like it definitely has something to do with muscle mass and a lot of our gals that have the beautiful fake boobs that I really would like to have one day. They float, they float to the top.
Yeah.
Those beautiful bosoms. So, it just depends on what you're working with here.
I never was a sinker, even growing up. I had to work to get to the bottom.
It's interesting.
So I don't, and it's, and you get all different kinds of body types. Cause you can have people that just will sink who are about my size, and you can have people that will float that are not about my size.
Yeah.
So it really, you don't know, you don't know until you get in the water.
Yeah.
And you just take that again, you got to find your Zen place. You got to channel your energy in a certain way.
Right.
Because I freaked out a little bit at our last one. But it's because I was trying a new pose and I'd already kind of worn myself out doing my own shoot. And so Abbey and I were trying to recreate our side-by-side dryland shot for the podcast. And I was tired. And so I got down to the bottom and my brain went, you don't have enough air.
Yeah.
So Abbey, and we're trying to interlock our fins and do this. And I think it was just all those micro movements that we were doing. And I was like, and I had to kick right back up to the top.
Yeah. But we got a good one.
Oh, good. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think another thing that contributes to the sinking or the floating is the tails that you're in, because I have noticed that some of our fin folk gals are more floaty. The fluke is more floaty.
Oh.
And Mertailor just isn't as floaty for some reason.
Okay.
Fin Fun, kind of in between, I'd say. But I have noticed that some of the flukes are more floaty than others, so it's harder for some of the finfolk gals to get all the way down.
Right. Yeah, fin fun can, because it's such a lightweight monofin, you can kind of work it either way. So yeah, I mean, that's a really good one to kind of test out with if you are a floater or a single. I mean, really, you don't even have to put a tail on to find out. Just jump in the water.
Just jump in the water, let out some air, and
let out some air and see. Yeah, she's a witch. Yes.
Totally.
Go back to Salem witch trial times.
Yes.
Jump in the water and find out if you sink or float. Either way, you're a witch. They're going to burn you.
Wait, is that what they did?
Mm-hmm. Not in the Salem witch trials, but when people were trying to discover if you were a witch, sometimes they'd throw you in the water. If you sank, you were not a witch, and they'd fish you back out. But most of the time, they had waited so long to find out if you sank that you were dead anyway.
Oh my gosh.
But if you floated, which you would because you were thrashing about trying to get air, then you were a witch, and they burned you at the stake.
Where did that logic come from?
Puritans.
Oh my gosh.
That was one of my better ones, if I say so myself.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well.
No, I don't know where it came from. Yeah. I mean, go read The Crucible. Okay. Do yourselves a favor. Arthur Miller, great play. Yeah, so that was one of the ways that they tested to see if you were a witch or not. Go find out if you were a witch in ye olden times.
Well, there you go, friends. Now you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
All right.
Okay, so.
Sinking, floating.
Yes. So, and along. Yes?
That's all.
Okay. And so along those lines, we were talking about neutral buoyancy.
Okay.
Is basically what you want to achieve. Mm-hmm. You want to be neutral in the water, which means you're not necessarily sinking, you're not necessarily floating, you're just kind of somewhere in the middle there.
This is also important because you have to find your light. And if you sink too far, you've gone too far away from your light. You're going to have weird shadows.
That's right. And yeah, one of the things that I was also going to mention is like putting your face towards the light. Uh-huh. And so, keeping that in mind as well. But if you're not neutral, if you're not in your space where you need to be, you can't find your light. Yeah. You can't get in. The camera's not going to get your best angles, friends.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to get discombobulated in the water, especially if you've never done it before. And the light is also your key to the surface. Like if you find it with your face, then all you have to do in your brain is like, oh, there's my surface. So just hold it for, your 5-10 seconds, however long. And then you can just go straight towards your light and you're hit it.
Yep.
Surface. Yep. So it's also a good way to calm your body down.
Totally.
Personally.
Yeah, there you go. Love that. I think I was having trouble. Ben and I went and shot. We actually shot a underwater posing tutorial. So we'll link it somewhere in here for you to watch. But we were shooting in front of a black backdrop, and the black backdrop doesn't fully extend all the way around the pool, and so I had to stay in the middle of the black backdrop. And when you're underwater, you're it doesn't matter if you're wearing contacts or not, you can't see anything really. And so I just kind of had to get centered in my brain and be like, okay, I can't move from here. But then the jets push you this way, and
Right.
then you got to move this way. And so it's a lot to think about. But I think the better breath hold you have, the more time you have to figure out where you are in space.
Yeah. And I
So,
mean, like, honestly, if you've never done it before, just don't put your tail on first.
totally.
Just go sit in the water for a little while and
Yeah.
get your body acclimated to the temperature, get your brain acclimated to the fact that it's going to be underwater, like
Yep.
you're using that reserve.
Mhm.
And, you know, and then go put your monofin on,
Mhm.
leave the skin off, and just go for a little swim. Don't do it hard. But, you know, just like, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. Like, introduce yourself to the
Yes.
whole process.
Mm-hmm. And I always recommend that you practice circular breathing.
Tell us more about that, Abbey.
That is in through your nose, out through your mouth. And that is good to get oxygen to your muscles.
Mhm.
But it's also good to just kind of like relax your brain and your mind. And it's going to help you stay under longer.
So I know with my like Headspace app, the sleep one,
Right.
it tells me I breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 6.
Mm-hmm. You breathe out longer than you breathe
Okay.
in. I actually practice this, and this probably isn't a good thing, but I don't know if it is or not. Sorry if it's wrong. But while I run, I take in a breath through my nose, and then as I'm running, I blow it out, and then just keep blowing it out until I can't blow out anymore, and I have to take breaths while I'm running.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
I can do it while I'm swimming.
If you think about the mechanics of it, your nose has a direct link to your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting that oxygen straight to the organ that needs it the most.
Yep.
So yeah, and then it goes to the rest of your body for all your muscles. But if your brain is like freaking out over the fact that it doesn't have enough oxygen, it's not going to be telling your other body parts to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be telling them to freak out.
Yep. It's gonna be
So
like,
get that oxygen to your brain and it'll do the rest.
Yep. And honestly, I think like people just automatically go into a state of panic. And so the circular breathing really does help you relax and get into a space where you can do this for an extended period of time.
And if you do find yourself freaking out, like just go to the surface and do it.
Yeah. And I always recommend our people, our clients, just take breaks in between and like don't feel bad about like this isn't a competition. Like no one's telling you to go super fast. Like we want you to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And so take the breaks.
I mean, your photographer probably is going to be like, oh, great, I need one too.
Totally.
And then they can go over their equipment. They can go over the shots that they've taken so far and see what else that they need or what else you might need. And like it gives you that time. So don't freak out and be like, I'm so sorry. Like that you're just rising your tension and the tension of that around you.
Yeah.
What is it? We've been watching a lot of Cesar Millan. Calm, submissive. You want to find your calm, submissive energy.
Yes, that's what you need. That's what you need. And while I was in the Florida Springs shooting with Justin, because it's so cold and I couldn't get warm, my body was even kind of more in a panic mode.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I just sat there, above the water. I would just sit there and stand there, whatever, and breathe for like a solid 2 minutes. And then I'd be able to go down and have a really great breath hold. But like it helps you in the long run to take the breaks and to breathe a couple deep breaths in between. So perfect. Highly recommend that. All my mermaids. Being an everyday mermaid in the human world, sometimes you just got to go out in public for your human responsibilities, Lauren.
You're right, Abby. I can't always be completely over the top with my persona. It's got to be a little bit subtle sometimes.
And Madison Ashley is pretty great at this. They've got an amazing jewelry line that gives you a chance to really express your mermaid self, but not like crazy over the top.
If you're watching the YouTube version, I am currently wearing the wave bracelet. It's very light and it's was super easy to put on, and I'm kind of in love with it.
Yeah, it's perfect for your persona in the daily, everyday mermaid sense.
So true.
And you can check them out at MadisonAshleyUSA.com. And if you want to get a little discount code, check out the link in our description. Special day for mermaids, all my mermaids. Okay, so next I thought we would talk about the face.
Are we going to smize?
Underwater. We're going to smize. We're going to smile with our eyes, as Tyra Banks likes to say. Yes, she, if anything, has helped us through this quarantine and mask wearing season. We're all smizing with our masks on.
Indeed.
The first thing I thought we could talk about is makeup and what we do with our face for specifically underwater mermaiding things.
Get you a waterproof barrier spray.
That's right. So Lauren and I recommend the, how do you even say that?
I call it Mayron.
Mayron. We'll link it
You can
in
always
the
go
show
meh
notes.
on.
Yes, also that. But what we do is we put on our makeup as normal and then spray it down with this barrier spray, and that stuff doesn't move.
It's not moving.
It does not move.
I mean, it takes an act of the universe to get that stuff off.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's not moving.
Yeah.
The only issue that I had is I didn't put enough glue on my eyelashes, so those fell right off.
Well, and eyelashes that's a completely different thing.
That's true.
You
cheat.
Oh, I cheat. Yeah, I have lash extensions. I have no say in this matter, but my friend Luna uses her waterproof wig glue, which I can just tell you now is not my
Luna.
recommendation for your eyeballs.
Oh my god. That caused me physical pain.
However, it works.
I bet it does. Oh my god. No, my eyelashes hated every part of that.
I would just love for all of y'all to use this as a disclaimer that we do not recommend that you use your waterproof lash glue as or your waterproof wig glue as your eyelash glue. But Luna does. So thank you.
To each their own.
Yeah. But the waterproof wig glue works for your wigs, and it is important. So what I do is I put it on my skin, and I use lace front wigs because that works better for me. I don't know. But
I've tried both. It depends on the look that you're going for.
Sure. Yeah, it's just easier for me to stick on my face.
For sure. That is easier.
And so I stick the lace, like I cut down the lace, and then I stick the lace on the glue that's around my face. And yes, sometimes it does get in my hair. An easy way to like shoosh your hair out of your face before you put it on is just to get a glue stick and just like kind of glue your hair back a little bit.
The things we do.
I know. But I think the most crucial part is, yes, you glue it on, but I bobby pin here at the corners. For those that are just listening, what do you call this part? Sideburn area.
Yeah.
I bobby pin and I crisscross my bobby pin. So I put one bobby pin in and then crisscross the bobby pin on the other so that they make an X and they're like super tight.
Yeah. Because that's going to be the hardest part. This part will stay. For the most. If you've got enough wig glue on there, that the top of your forehead will stay just fine. Those the sideburn bits are where all your little baby hairs are. So unless you've taken a razor to that area, you don't have a clean surface to work with.
Yeah.
It's always going to have those little hairs. And so no matter how much wig glue you put on there, if those hairs move, your wig moves. So if you double down with your bobby pins crisscrossed, like I did not during my last one.
We photoshopped it out.
Thank you.
No worries.
You're gonna have your natural hair sticking out.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna show.
Totally.
So.
And just because you're moving in the water and it pushes it back.
Right.
I also bobby pin the crisscross in my nape area and in the center of my neck. So in the back of my head, in 3 places. So that sucker ain't going nowhere.
I know. Now, this helps me a lot, and I've had to do this like out of water. I had to do this for various entertainment gigs that I've had. My hair is very thin and very fine. So it doesn't matter how I put that, like how many bobby pins I stick in the actual wig itself. If I haven't, pin curled my hair underneath my wig cap, that wig is coming off.
Yeah.
So pin curl, you literally take a section of your hair, twist it around your finger, and then you roll it into a tiny little bun on your head, and you do it all over your head. You crisscross your bobby pins on top of that to keep your hair down. All those little bits sticking up are going to catch that wig.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I have to do.
Yeah.
Because it will come off my head. It doesn't matter how much wig glue I put on. It doesn't matter how many times I bobby pin the wig to my hair. If I don't have it pin curled underneath, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So you do have to do some experimentation because it took me a long time to figure that out. Everybody was like, oh, you just braid your hair underneath. I'm like, nope. Falls right off.
Yeah.
So,
I braid my hair underneath.
right. And it don't go nowhere.
I don't.
You got a big head.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't have a big head.
No, you don't.
I got a little head.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Definitely different textures
So, yeah.
of hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good technique, though, the pin curling.
Mhm.
You've been doing that for as long
I
as I've
have.
known you.
Yeah. Yeah. I have been doing that for a really long time because I tried a couple of different ways and it just was not working. So I pin curled the crap out of it and that thing does not move.
There you go. Do it. So I think we've nailed down the wig part
Yes.
and the makeup part.
Pro tip: get the hair the lace wig remover.
Oh my
Spray.
gosh. Yes, we need to make sure everyone knows that.
Pro tip: like, don't breathe that in. I mean,
Woof.
you'll be down on the ground.
Yeah, so the wig glue that we use is waterproof lace front wig glue. I'll link it in the description and the show notes. But I buy the set
Yeah,
because it's the glue and the remover in the set.
you need the remover.
You need the remover or you're going to be pulling your skin off your face.
Yeah. It's like those terrible face masks that people will try on, the black one that just like, I mean, you're just taking off a whole layer of skin. It's the same exact thing. Get the remover.
Not in a good way.
No, that is not comfortable because you're taking your hair with it.
It's, oof, my gosh.
It's rough.
Woof.
So, yeah.
Get the remover, but don't. That remover is like, I don't know what's in it, but just like don't breathe when you spray it on your face.
Yeah, it's the same principle as like when you're acrylicing, when you have spray acrylic and you're not supposed to spray it indoors.
Same thing.
Practice your breath hold.
That's right.
To spray it on your head.
Woof. That stuff is strong. Anywho.
There were all kinds of colors I was seeing that day.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. Wowza. I also want to mention for the makeup portion of it, I do put I put a primer, I put foundation, I put setting powder thing on my face. So I do like layer upon layer, but that's just kind of like my go-to for character things anyway.
Yeah,
I just kick it on.
The primer has just kind of become one of those things that's essential to my makeup routine. Yeah, because it's gonna save your skin underneath.
Yeah.
Have a really good skincare routine. Like if you don't, make sure you have a really good skincare routine after you do a photo shoot like this because you are, I mean, like she said, you are layer upon layer upon layering. Yeah. And that's hard. That's hard on your skin.
And if you're shooting in chlorine, it's gonna get your skin all dranky.
So do the primer, make sure you've got a good moisturizer, day moisturizer on with SPF in it. Just make sure you're taking care of your skin before and after because it's just not going to like you after you've done this to it. So just take real good care. Yeah.
I'm real bad about that. Lauren's like the queen of washing, doing her skincare routine before bed and stuff. Oh, I like this makeup I'm wearing right now. For sure I slept in it last night.
Oh my gosh.
I had a really late Zoom meeting because they were in China.
That is not an excuse. I'm so mad at you right now.
I know.
I'm so angry, Abby.
I know. Well, yeah. We'll work on this one day. I know.
It's almost as bad as this one girl I saw on YouTube washing her face with Dawn dish soap.
Oh my gosh.
Be quiet. You slept in your makeup last night.
I'm sorry.
Do not sleep in your makeup. I heard once through a completely unreliable source that it takes your face, your skin on your face 7 days to recover from sleeping in your makeup one time.
What?
That's right. You have a whole week to look forward to jacked up skin.
Oh my gosh.
It's your own fault.
Oh man.
Google that. Do your own research. Don't believe what you read or hear on the internet. Thanks.
Okay. Moving on from this topic.
You're just upset. You're still in trouble.
upset. I'm sorry. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, don't sleep in your makeup.
Thanks.
Sorry. I'm going to do better. Okay, moving on.
That gave me heart palpitations.
Oh, man. Oh, so sorry. Okay. Moving on. On the topic of your face, but now we're moving on to working the face underwater and not looking like we're holding our breath like a puffer fish. That has been something that has been very difficult for me to communicate to our clients. And I think the only way that I've been able to work it out is just to tell them to relax their jaw and open their mouth underwater. Like just to relax and open.
Okay.
Like I don't know. That's the only way that I've figured it out because it's crazy.
Maybe you didn't tell them to make a fish face. Like,
yeah, I don't know. But the big thing is when your mouth is closed, even just the slightest bit, you look like you're holding your breath or you look like you're slightly uncomfortable. Not all the time, but for the most part, your cheeks kind of like
they're just gonna pop out a little bit.
Just a little bit. And it looks like you're uncomfortable. And so the way to like combat that is to relax your jaw and open your mouth.
I guess my tip would be if your mouth is closed, make sure your jaw is open. So like make sure there's a space between your teeth.
Oh yeah. That's
like
good.
So like you can close your lips but not your teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely works. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, like if you're smiling, that's great.
Yeah.
Smiling, showing your teeth, like do it. I love those. Those are good shots.
They are.
They
look so pretty.
I know. It definitely makes a difference because people are basically do what you would do out of water with your face, but like underwater. Because most models do open their mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
Above the water.
I mean, I don't know. There's something really magical about being underwater, like shooting underwater. You do not feel pretty.
Yeah. No.
Everything feels wrong. And that's how you know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Like it's really bizarre. Like if it feels like you are a brand new giraffe just entering the world, you have limbs akimbo, and you know your face is just every which way, you gonna pop out the water and that photographer is gonna go, that was it.
Yep.
And it's very bizarre.
Yep. And yep, this is true. I mean, you can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what your body looks like or your face.
You're dying.
Your hair is in your face, so you got to push it out of your face. You got to move your body to where it's supposed to be. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. Mm-hmm. But typically we get some good ones. So speaking of hair in your face, and I talk about this in my tutorial as well, but also just people, they just like freak out about having hair in your face. But the big thing is just like get in your pose, like get neutrally buoyant, get in your pose, and then just push it out like ever so gracefully.
Yeah,
you know?
You're an astronaut in
That's
space,
right.
So you just gotta
just
get it away from you.
And it just takes the smallest movement to move it back. It really doesn't take much. So.
Well, and the other magical quality about moving it is it gives it some movement in the water, and it looks so good.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is so pretty. You're very good about that, but you've been doing it a hot second.
Thank you.
Yeah, but like you'll see if you go and watch some of Abby's like behind the scenes videos.
Well, in this tutorial, I do the whole sequence.
Oh, perfect.
I go down, that. I get buoyant. I get neutrally buoyant. I pose, and then I floof.
Watch behind the scene ones anyway. She's real pretty. Do it anyway. And you'll see that's like one of the first things she does is like after she's like found her space, she pops that hair out and then she strikes it and that's it.
Yep. And that's it.
Yeah.
It works.
It does.
So on that note, some go-to poses for mermaids underwater. What you got?
The quintessential Abbey pose.
Which has been coined not by me, but by others.
Yeah, by everybody else. Well, it's really funny because I think you were describing a photo shoot to somebody the other day, and I was watching. You weren't talking to me, you were talking to somebody else. And it was really funny because you described the pose and you immediately went to it.
Yeah.
But you were just talking about how you were doing an underwater shoot, and you were like, yeah, and I just like popped it. And I was like, she doesn't even know. She doesn't even, which is why it's like the Abbey pose. So the Abbey pose is your face is to your light. So you're always looking up. Your toes are pointed in your tail. So you have that nice elongation from your eyes forward to your toes pointing back. So that's lining your whole body up in one swell move.
Yeah. Oh, mermaid pun. Yes, ma'am.
Right? And then you just take that elongation through your arms.
Yes.
So you just have like your forearm goes up and it follows your light too. So it's reaching out.
Not
and
the one covering your face from the camera. The other one.
Yes. And the other one is out behind you. You know, like you can kind of mess around with your hands or do however with that. Like, but it goes along with that elongation. So you're lengthening your whole self out.
You know where I learned that?
Tell me.
Ballet. That's what that is.
Surprise.
So
yeah. Like
it's basically when you go, if for all you ballet dancers out there, it's just when you're going for a soda shop. That's what your arms are doing. And I just turned it into a mermaid pose.
Kaboom.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the quintessential Abbey pose. Is elongation everywhere.
Yes,
yeah.
Well, I am long.
Miss Lauren is the longest human I know. It's true. The longest mermaid you know, too.
That's right.
Not entirely true, but
well, our tails do make us much longer than we actually are.
Gosh,
it's pretty great.
What was that one you were wearing the other day? That's like super long.
Which one?
Oh no, it's like really brightly colored. It's in the Springs.
Oh, the hibiscus melody.
Yeah, because it's a deeper rainbow than the not Jungleberry.
Rainbow Dream.
Yes,
it's even more bright than that.
Yeah.
Yes. That shot, well, and it's because of his angle and stuff. It made me
me
look so long.
Super long.
Crazy town. Yeah, that was a fun one.
That was really pretty.
I was actually miserable and wanted to get out, but he was like, "Can we please do another round?"
Like, you get out of your wetsuit and do it.
Yeah. Anyway.
These are the thoughts you're going to think about your photographer.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry. They've heard worse.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. They can take it.
Mm-hmm.
So another post that I like to do is having my fluke behind my head.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when you're like, let's imagine ourselves sitting on the ground on our bellies, and then we sit up on our elbows, and then we flip our feet behind us. Mm-hmm. It's basically that, but in a mermaid tail and underwater. And it's quite flattering, I have noticed, for any mermaid ever, no matter what tail you're in, what size you are. It's very flattering.
That's a shallow water pose, is it not?
So if it's a shallow water pose, if you want it to be, but you can do it in space in the deep end. I have some examples I'll probably throw up here or something for the YouTube version, but it's so you can do that pose by basically going down, and then I use my hamstrings to flip my fin all the way like above my head, and then kind of move a little back so that I can see the camera can see me, and I smile.
It's just that easy. You're not going to cramp at all after doing this
I
move.
cramp every time.
That was a joke.
Every time
I was being facetious.
Okay, great. Good. They need to know the reality.
Indeed. I think I did that pose. I don't.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I did.
Yep. And you can do it from the front, from the side if you want, looking at the camera to the side. There's all different kinds of ways to do that pose, but it's a fun one, and it looks really cool. We just shot one of our Nashville mermaid gals, and she had not done that pose before, and it just looks so good. So cute.
And again, it's one of those poses, you're going to feel straight up stupid.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you do not feel cute doing that pose.
Yeah, and your hair's all up in your face at first. You got to smoosh it out.
Like, where is my tail? I've lost it. It's gone. Oh, crap. It's in my face.
Yes, if you can feel it on your face, you're doing it right.
Yeah. So you're going to feel real dumb.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a beautiful shot. Don't know how it works.
That's just the way it is.
Magic.
Another pose is one that I feel like you really nailed at the shoot recently is the vertical, the pencil essentially.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just vertical up and down, like you're just floating in space, but vertically.
Mm-hmm.
And Lauren did a cute a couple poses, like with her hands on her hips and like sassy, a little bit. Super cute. And that's easy to do.
That one is. And that's fun. And it's just, and that one's easy, especially for you guys, you beginners. Sorry, my ring is freaking out. For the beginners, because you don't have to work hard on it. It is a pencil dive. So you just you get to your spot at the back wall and you just let go and release a little bit of your air, get, to where the water's above your head, and then strike your poses, flip, and you're done.
Yep. The one thing that I tell mermaids to remember when posing is to not break at the ankles.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing these poses, if you are flexing your feet or you're not pointing them, if you're breaking at the ankles, you're breaking off that line of your tail, and it doesn't look as realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can still, we have still gotten some really cool shots of people and they're breaking at the ankles, but for the majority of the amazing shots we get, it's when you're elongated, your tail is elongated, and we can see the whole fluke, which is difficult in tailor tails because they're so flappy.
They are flappy.
And so, you just got to kind of figure out overcompensating. I got to swoosh my fin this way to keep it this way. And, but if you have the Mahina monofin that is flat as a board, you're good to go. Just make sure you point your toes and don't flex your feet.
Right.
So
that's what makes the Mertailor look so realistic, is its floppiness, because it can move with the water. The flip side of that coin being that what she's saying is because you flex your toes, your heels show and you don't get the full tail effect. So when you you definitely see it when you're swimming in the water and you've got that bent foot, you see those heels.
Yeah.
Mermaids don't have feet, so they shouldn't have heels.
That's
so
right.
it's just a slight break, and it's just enough to give your brain that moment. It's like when cell phones go off in the theater.
Yeah.
Not quite as much of a sin. But
you
get real annoyed.
Yeah. Pointing your toes, elongating your body is an important part of underwater posing.
Yeah.
I would say. Okay. I feel like we really knocked out some good things here with the underwater posing. Is there anything else that we should talk about?
Explained it okay.
I know. It's a little difficult, which is why I've made this tutorial, which you can click somewhere or around here in the description of the video for sure. Definitely watch that. But I think there's a lot to think about. But at the end of the day, the most important part is just to relax and have fun. Mm-hmm. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just have fun.
Yeah. That's it. That's all.
Love that.
It's good.
All right. Well, before we end this episode, Lauren, there's an important moment that we must share. And that is the hashtag Jody moment.
I was real pretty for that one.
I missed it. You know what? Guess what day it is?
It's been a whole year since the entire desk was covered in every single one of your Little Mermaid trinkets.
Yes.
Because it was the 30th anniversary of the Little Mermaid, which means it's the first anniversary of the 30th anniversary.
So it's the 31st anniversary of the Little Mermaid, which you will be listening to this after the fact.
True.
So we are recording this on the day of the 31st anniversary of the Little Mermaid.
Tuesday, November 17th.
Yes, that is when we were recording this. So we definitely are celebrating our Jody Benson, the voice of the Little Mermaid, on the 31st anniversary of the Little Mermaid.
We decided to tone it down this year in hopes that she will think we are not crazy people.
So far, not good.
It's not going well.
So I posted a video yesterday. I actually did not plan this properly because I should have posted that video today.
Whatever, you look beautiful. Be quiet.
Thank you. But I posted a video. I've been doing these things on TikTok where I've decided I think I'm gonna do I'll let y'all in on the secret. I think I'm gonna do Charlotte LaBeouf next. Turn her into a mermaid.
Yes, I'm sweating like a sinner in church. Travis, when a woman says later, she really means not ever. Man, Charlotte.
She's just got some great sound bites.
So funny.
So I'm gonna turn her into a mermaid, but
we're gonna have a real Mardi Gras wedding.
Daddy.
Legs. She's so good.
She's great. So, anywho, I've been turning Disney characters into mermaids.
Nice.
And so I did Megara first.
Of course.
And then I just had the Ariel stuff. So I was like, let's just throw Ariel in. And so I did the Ariel.
You won't need a lot of pink for Charlotte.
I know. I have an idea. Does
that have anything to do with that brand new Mer Taylor monofin you got? That is bright pink.
But anywho, so I did the Ariel one, becoming Ariel. Just like I go step by step, kind of like with my makeup and my wig and all the things. So anywho, I post it, and of course, I'm like, it's a hashtag Jody moment, friends. Like I tagged Jody, so she saw it. It said "seen," on the thing, but she didn't really respond or like it or say, "This is great, sweetie." So
it's that moment you just fangirl too hard.
I just was excited because it's Little Mermaid, and
that scene in New Girl where Jess and Nick meet Prince.
Yes.
It's just like that.
It's so embarrassing,
except
Lauren.
Prince isn't even here, and neither is Jody. And we're still screaming.
Oh gosh, I just so that was my hashtag Jody moment this week.
It's good. It's good.
And then some girl posted on that and commented saying that I would be great to play Ariel's mother.
Oh, that's right.
In the live action film.
You texted me that today.
And I was
I were like children around, so I didn't get to react appropriately to it. But the inside
I was like, well, this is 31. All right, so yeah, the Little Mermaid came out the year I was born in, so we're 31. 31st anniversary, whole thing. I was like, well, this is what 31 feels like.
This is 31.
People telling me I could play Ariel's mother.
Man, children are cruel.
Gosh. You know what's weird? It's just on TikTok that this happens to me. It's these 10-year-olds that just think they can say these things.
See, that's like one of my big pet peeves about like caring for children in a general kind of sense. Like, sorry, I don't have the time to be offended every time my kid opens their mouth and says something.
And they say something.
And they do. And I'm just like, well, that's funny. You haven't paid taxes yet. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
It's true. I'm like, lady.
That's cute. You're adorable.
Oh, gosh. So if you want to follow me on TikTok and tell me I can be Ariel's mom, you can follow me at Everyday Mermaid on TikTok.
I think you can be anything you want to be, Abby, so long as it's in a tail.
Thanks so much. Just a very humbling moment for me. And the fact that Ariel's mom is dead, I'm like, well, that's helpful.
I think you could be dead. I think that would be great.
Yeah, well.
Well, I mean, if we were going to be compared to any Disney parent, they're all dead, so.
That's true.
Sorry, dipped into Mermaids After Midnight for a hot second there,
Oh
but
my
we all know
gosh.
it's true.
It's the Olaf thing.
Disney does
Oh,
not
no.
like parental news.
Something about their parents.
Their parents are dead.
Oh gosh, sad but true.
I really
Sad but
should
true.
find Olaf more annoying than I do, but I kind of just
I
don't
love
find him
him.
that annoying.
He's kind of great.
He is kind of great, and I'm okay with that. What did I say last time? I'm done apologizing.
Did you see the Olaf Explains 2020?
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds good.
Josh Gad does this whole video.
Good for him.
Like he had to get like so many donations for something, and he would do Olaf
Beautiful.
goes through
Yes.
2020, and it is
I'm
y'all look it up.
100% here for it.
Look it
Down.
up.
Yes.
It is so funny.
Cool.
I cannot. So
Great.
yeah. On that note, watch that.
So yeah, he's also in New Girl. He plays a character called Bear Claw. They
Oh my
write
gosh.
a musical together.
That's right. Gosh.
It's real weird.
I love New Girl though. It's
so
good.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
All right, y'all. We've been talking a long time.
Wow, what a surprise!
But I feel like all good things,
All good things.
That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you have some ideas for what you want us to talk about next, hey, let us know. We are at Everyday Mermaid Podcast on Instagram. You can send us a DM. We'd love to hear from you.
Sure.
Or you can comment on the YouTube version, or you can email us, or you don't have my number, but I'd be glad to hear whatever you have to say.
We also have a Patreon.
Yeah, so we have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/everydaymermaid. We are thankful for all of your support there.
Thank you.
We love our patrons so very much. And on that note, Lauren, we will
See you on the flip side.
bye, mermaid.
Bye.
All my mermaids.
Why? Like, we're supposed to be friends. I don't treat your friends this way. You're rude. I don't like it. Like, my stomach hurts.
I'm losing it.
Go wash your face. There's a whole book.
There is a book. It's pretty great. Okay.
Try it again,
All right.
man.
All right. What were we talking
Let me
about?
wash my salty face off.
That's it for this episode.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.